Every real estate agent pitching you on Texas will say the same thing. No state income tax, low cost of living, affordable homes, and compared to California or New York, they are not wrong. But here's what they are not putting in the listing description. Progressive, Farmers Foremost, and Liberty Mutual have all pulled back or stopped writing new policies in parts of Texas. New Century Insurance was declared insolvent in October 2025. Every single policy canceled overnight. And the state's insurer of last resort started 2025 with a $413 million deficit after Hurricane Beryl drained the reserve fund dry. That's not a safety net, that's a net with a hole in it. Texas now has the fourth highest home insurance premiums in the entire country. The average Texan is paying over $4,000 a year just to insure their home. The national average is $2,543, and in certain cities, it is not $4,000. It is $7,000. It is $10,000. It is $14,000. Today, we are counting down 10 Texas cities where home insurance companies are already pulling out. If you already own in any of these cities, you need to hear this. If you are planning to buy, you really need to hear this. Stick around to the end because we are going to name the 3 Texas cities where none of this is happening. Let's get into it. Number 10 is Lubbock. Population about 265,000 on the South Plains of West Texas, known for Texas Tech, cotton farming, and some of the most destructive hailstorms in the entire country. Golf ball-sized hail is not a weather event in Lubbock, it's a season. Hail claims across the South Plains have increased 45% over the past 5 years. The average home insurance premium in Lubbock has climbed to around $4,200 a year for a standard $300,000 policy. That's 65% above the national average. Here's what locals in Lubbock already know that buyers moving in from out of state are about to learn. The policy you find is not the policy your parents had. Separate hail, deductibles running 1% to 2% of your home's insured value mean $3,000 to $6,000 out of pocket before your insurance pays a single dollar. Lubbock is number 10 because carriers are still competing here, but the direction the market is moving is not something buyers should be ignoring. Number 9 is Midland. Its population is around 140,000 in the heart of the Permian Basin. It is the oil capital of Texas. The insurance market behaves exactly like the oil market, volatile and unpredictable. During the most recent Permian Basin boom, the cost to rebuild a home after a fire or storm quietly climbed past what most standard policies were written to cover. Average premiums in Midland have risen to around $4,500 a year. Many homeowners who bought during the boom discovered their dwelling coverage was written based on pre-boom rebuild costs. When they filed a claim, the gap between what the policy paid and what the rebuild actually cost was thousands of dollars wide. That gap has a name. It is called being underinsured, and in Midland, it is happening more than anyone is advertising. Number 8 is San Antonio. The population is over 1.5 million in the metro. It is a place where home insurance premiums jumped 29% between 2021 and 2024 alone. 29% in 3 years. That is not a rate adjustment. That is a new financial reality. The July 2025 flood event upstream in Kerr County sent water surging 26 feet in 45 minutes, and it killed at least 135 people. Fewer than 5% of homes in that flood zone had flood insurance. Standard homeowners insurance in Texas does not cover flooding. That is not a footnote. That is the thing most buyers do not find out until they are standing in a ruined living room waiting for a check that is never coming. People who have lived in San Antonio for decades know to ask that question before they buy. People moving in from out of state are still learning it the hard way. Number 7 is Port Arthur. Population around 55,000 in Jefferson County, right on the Gulf Coast. This city has been hit by so many major hurricanes that the insurance market has made a quiet corporate decision about it. The decision is simple. We are not sure we want to be here anymore. The coastal counties surrounding Port Arthur are part of the 14-county zone where private insurers will not write windstorm coverage at all. That means 3 separate policies just to be fully covered. Standard homeowners insurance, roughly $2,600 a year. TWIA windstorm coverage, on average $2,480 a year on top of that. Flood insurance, another $1,000 or more a year on top of that. Over $6,000 a year in total insurance premiums in a city where the median home price is under $100,000. The locals who own free and clear can stomach that math. The buyers coming in with a mortgage often cannot. Number 6 is Beaumont. Beaumont has a population of about 117,000 in southeast Texas. It sits right next to Port Arthur, and it shares the same problems as its neighbor. Beaumont averages 60 inches of rain per year. The national average is 38 inches. During Hurricane Harvey, Beaumont recorded 104 inches of rain from a single storm. Insurance carriers have long memories, and those memories are written directly into your premium. Add windstorm and flood coverage on top of a base policy, and a Beaumont homeowner is approaching $6,000 a year in total. Lemonade Foremost and State Farm have all scaled back or restricted new policy issuance in coastal Texas counties. When major carriers start drawing lines on a map and your city lands on the wrong side, the market is telling you something. It is worth listening to. If you have made it this far and have not subscribed yet, the top 5 on this list are where it gets significantly worse. Hit subscribe and stay with us. Number 5 is Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi has a population of about 318,000 on the Gulf Coast, south of Houston. The city is genuinely beautiful and genuinely difficult to insure in 2026. Corpus Christi sits in Nueces County, one of the 14 coastal counties under the jurisdiction of the Texas Windstorm Insurance Association. It faces the same 3 policy problem as Port Arthur and Beaumont, but Corpus Christi has one additional layer. State Farm may not write new coverage for homes in parts of Corpus Christi at all. That is confirmed in ValuePenguin's 2026 insurance analysis. When State Farm decides a market is too risky for new business, that is not a small signal. Agents who have worked Corpus Christi for years will tell you the number of carriers willing to write a new policy here has been shrinking. Most buyers do not notice until they are in escrow and the insurance quote comes back at a number that breaks the budget. Average total insurance cost here, including base policy, windstorm, and flood, runs $5,000 to $6,000 a year. On a $250,000 home, that is 2% of the home's value going out the door every year. Not mortgage, not taxes, just insurance. Number 4 is Rockport. Its population is around 12,000 in Aransas County on the central Texas coast. Rockport was ground zero for Hurricane Harvey in 2017, a Category 4 storm with 130 miles per hour winds. The town was essentially flattened. The community rebuilt, and the rebuild was remarkable, but the insurance market that came back is not the one that existed before. Total insurance cost for windstorm, flood, and a base policy in Aransas County can run $6,000 to $8,000 a year. That is up to $667 a month, just in insurance. Before the mortgage, before taxes, before a single utility bill. When carriers exit a small coastal market, the remaining options get more expensive and less comprehensive very fast. There is no version of this story on the Texas Gulf Coast that gets better over time. Number 3 is Dallas, and this one surprises people every time. Dallas is not a coastal city. No hurricanes hitting downtown. The Gulf Coast insurance crisis is a Gulf Coast problem, people assume, except it is not, because of hail. The June 2023 hailstorm that moved through the Dallas-Fort Worth area caused an estimated $7 to $10 billion in insured losses. One storm, one night. Home insurance premiums in Dallas surged 32% between 2021 and 2024, according to the Consumer Federation of America. Texas Farm Bureau more than doubled its rates between 2021 and 2025. Doubled. And they are still one of the more competitive options available. Carriers are now deploying drones to inspect Dallas area homes before writing or renewing policies. Homes with roofs over 10 years old are being denied outright. If you are buying in Dallas and the roof is 12 years old, get the insurance quote before you make the offer. Not after you fall in love with the house. Before. Number 2 is Houston, population over 2.3 million, the 4th largest city in America. Average home insurance premium approximately $5,539 a year. According to insurance.com data for 2026, add flood insurance for a flood-prone zip code, and you're looking at another $1,000 to $2,000 on top of that. Hurricane Harvey destroyed or damaged 300,000 homes in 2017. Hurricane Beryl hit in 2024 and caused an estimated $6 billion in damage, wiping out the TWIA catastrophe reserve entirely. The Texas Fair Plan served 61,774 Houston area policies at the end of 2024. These were homeowners who could not find private coverage at any price. They were paying more for worse coverage through a program that is already financially strained. There are people in Houston right now with good credit, a clean claims history, and 20 years in the same house, who are seriously considering going without insurance entirely because the renewal notice is more than they can absorb. Houston area residents said exactly that to ABC 13 earlier this year. When middle-class homeowners start gambling on going uninsured, the market hasn't just failed them, it has left them. Number 1 is Galveston. It is a barrier island, 53,000 people, sitting 8 feet above sea level in the Gulf of Mexico. The Great Storm of 1900 killed up to 12,000 people and remains the deadliest natural disaster in American history. Hurricane Ike in 2008 caused billions in damage and left parts of the island uninhabitable for months. The insurance market has priced every single one of those events into what you pay today. The average base homeowner's insurance premium in Galveston is $7,953 a year, according to Insurify data from 2026. Add the TWIA windstorm policy at an average of $2,480 a year. Add flood insurance at $992 a year, the highest flood insurance cost of any major Texas county. Total, over $11,000 a year for a $300,000 house. That is $916 a month, just in insurance. The Seabrook zip code just across Galveston Bay, 77586, is the most expensive zip code for home insurance in the entire state, at $9,711 a year for the base policy alone. 100% of homes in Galveston have some level of wind risk, according to First Street Foundation. Not most, every single one. There is no scenario where Galveston gets cheaper to insure. The math only goes one direction. Now here's what we promised you at the start. 3 Texas cities where the insurance market is still stable and carriers are not drawing exit lines through your zip code. Number 1 is El Paso. El Paso is the furthest major Texas city from the Gulf Coast, from Tornado Alley, and from the Dallas Hail Corridor. Average home insurance premium around $2,616 a year, the lowest of any major Texas city according to insurance.com. No hurricane exposure, minimal flood risk, the driest climate in the state. For buyers who want Texas without the insurance crisis attached, El Paso is the answer most people are overlooked. Number 2 is San Angelo, a city of about 100,000 in west central Texas, far enough inland to avoid coastal exposure and outside the worst of the hail corridor. Premiums here average well below the state average and carrier competition remains healthy. The insurance problem eating Houston and Galveston alive has not arrived here. Number 3 is Amarillo. Amarillo sits completely outside the coastal TWIA zone. Private carriers are still competing aggressively for business here. Average premiums run around $3,000 to $3,500 a year. Well below Houston, well below Dallas. A fraction of what Galveston homeowners are paying. Same state, very different insurance market. Those are 10 Texas cities where the home insurance crisis is already reshaping what it actually costs to own a home. The listing price is one number. The total cost of owning it is a different conversation entirely. If you are thinking about buying anywhere in Texas in 2026, get the insurance quote before you make the offer, because that number will tell you more about the real cost of that property than anything the seller puts in the disclosure. Subscribe. We cover Texas real estate every single week with real data and no fluff. Drop a comment and tell me which city on this list surprised you the most. We will see you in the next one.